You know, so often writers create a villain that's so much more overwhelmingly powerful than the protagonist of the story. I mean, it's a great way to raise stakes, create tension, makes you wonder how our protagonist will overcome this seemingly impossible obstacle that's in front of them. And honestly, bro, it's a coin flip whether the writers can orchestrate their defeat in a way that's both satisfying and makes sense. And you know, it doesn't require the most insane suspension of disbelief and ass pulls out the wazoo. And today I want to talk about some of the best examples of both. That being the defeat of Aizen Sasuke from Bleach and the defeat of the Homelander from The Boys. Now, honestly, bro, I make videos because I'm excited to talk about whatever the topic of the video is every time. I'm really using this to glaze how good Aizen's defeat was, because I always liked how his was handled. From the first major arc in Bleach, the Soul Society arc, this is Aizen's introduction. He's quickly established as this powerful and calculated character. He cooked up this elaborate plan that fooled like all the competent and most powerful beings in the verse. And not only that, our main character, who just put on a performance of a lifetime, bro, feeling himself. He just got his powers like last week, and he learned Bankai in like 3 days, and he just beat Captain Byakuya. He's like one of the higher tier captains. Naturally, he see Aizen, he like, oh yeah, light work. He rushes him, theme song blaring, and then just after that, Aizen proceeded to put on a performance we haven't seen since 2012 LeBron James. He made the Gotad 13, some of the most powerful beings in the verse, look like wet babies. Now, if Aizen is this powerful, this sharp, this unstoppable, it begs the question, how do you stop an unstoppable force? And Kubo, you absolute dog, boy, because you did it right. It literally took the main character, who was already one of the strongest characters at this point, making a sacrificial play, gaining immense power momentarily in return for losing all of his said power. And even then, it wasn't enough. Still not enough to put down Aizen for good. He took the most powerful attack shown in the series up to this point to the face and got back up. It took the combined effort of the most intelligent mind in the verse, aside from maybe himself, that made his defeat possible. Uehara made a high IQ play, one that wouldn't work without Ichigo's power. The seal he put in Aizen chapters ago only activated once Ichigo made him weak enough for it to work. I don't know how so many people fail to realize this, but Ichigo didn't outright beat Aizen, because after the final Getsuga, Ichigo lost all his power and Aizen was regenerating. If it wasn't for Uehara, Ichigo would have died right there when he was helpless and lost all his powers. But you seen how it took sacrifice, the most powerful person shown in the verse at this point, and the smartest mind to take down the big bad, and neither one of them could have did it alone. That's already believable enough to me, but we ain't even talk about the third aspect that aided in Aizen's defeat, the Hogyoku. Obviously, Ichigo and Uehara had vital roles in defeating Aizen, but it's poetic that one of the biggest reasons for his defeat is himself. His own ego and arrogance put him in this position. He used the Hogyoku's powers to rapidly evolve as it grants his masters true desires buried deep in their heart. Aizen, as genius as he is, was too arrogant to consider the possibility of this backfiring on him. He never imagined a scenario where he would get outclassed. Once his self-doubt kicked in after Ichigo hurt his pride, the Hogyoku rejected him. And it's later revealed by Uehara that deep down, Aizen wanted to lose. It's lonely at the top. When you have no equal and you just so many levels above everyone else, deep down in his heart, Aizen didn't want to feel alone anymore. So the Hogyoku gave him what he wanted. It left him vulnerable, and it opened the door to his demise. Just an absolute masterclass in writing. That's how you defeat an OP-ass villain in a way that's both satisfying and believable. Now here's the flip side of the coin I mentioned earlier, because now I gotta talk about this shitty poo-poo ass Homelander fight. This shit had no clever writing, actually the opposite, and it had nothing but inconsistencies and shit. If you think about it too long, it might give you an aneurysm. Like, generally, what were the showrunners cooking with this? I'm almost certain they found a way to remove their brain from their skull and proceeded to wipe their ass with it before they sat down and wrote this shit. This fight alone undermined their entire show, and that's not an exaggeration. The entire show from episode 1 is based around Homelander being not only the most powerful suit, but the most deplorable and vile suit there is. And he absolutely has to go, but there's no one or nothing that can stop him. You revolve the whole plot around how our protagonist will stop him. You dedicate all 5 seasons just to this. Turns out it's not really hard at all when you just let one of the characters walk in and essentially beat his ass by himself. There's literally nothing that this season showed you that Butcher can just walk in and take on Homelander. Shit, they spent the whole season showing the opposite. Remember in episode 1 of the season where Butcher and Homelander was face to face, and Butcher kind of had that energy where he's like, oh, I know I shouldn't try anything because Homelander would kill me. What the fuck was that about? I don't think him or the writers were aware that he could actually just take him on right now. And shit, nigga, even A-Train showed up. In my opinion, I feel like A-Train would have been way more of a hope than Ryan was. Ryan showed up in that season finale and didn't do shit.
You little piece of shit.
Homelander realistically could have been taken out by Butcher and A-Train right there. Like, literally, it turns out if you took like 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 of like the stronger soups in the verse, and y'all just jumped Homelander, that would have been enough, bro. Like, who would have thought? Like, there were points they had Queen Maeve on their side, Soldier Boy, A-Train. If the boys had half a brain, they would have just gathered some soups and then just beat Homelander's ass. They could have skipped the Kimiko chest blast thing altogether and just got the entire Gen V's cast to fucking kill him. I'm almost certain it would have worked because Butcher really kind of did it alone. Because really, bro, like, I understand the chest blast thing was like their win condition, but honestly, bro, by the way the fight was going, they really didn't need it. Like, it's debatable if they kept fighting without the chest blast, will Homelander eventually pull out the win or not? Like, to me, that's ridiculous. Like, it almost felt like the chest blast was optional, bro. Like, it could have been so much better if the writers just put like a tiny bit of effort. Like, I was thinking they was gonna have like some elaborate plan to be able to pull this off, because obviously they can't just walk in and blast Homelander. He's too fast, he's too strong, he's just not gonna let that happen. But turns out he did let it happen. Like, what the fuck was this? Y'all could have cooked up something. Y'all could have cooked up anything to make this make sense, and it just didn't. It just doesn't work. There's literally a scenario earlier in the season that made more sense for Homelander to lose to Butcher. When Butcher was fueled by rage by that rage bait suit, and Homelander was trapped in that room with the radiation, if Butcher was basically on the same level as Homelander, why didn't he just rip the door open and then just pull Homelander out with his tentacles and then proceed to kill him right there while he's weakened? He saw a weakened Homelander while he was filled with even more rage than he normally is, and it was just like, nah, I'ma just dip because I can't take him on. Just to take him on head on with no plan in the season finale when he's off of V1. What fucking sense does that make? I mean, what a crazy way to make a fool out of your big bad. A fool out of your entire show, to be honest. It's not even just bad writing. It's something so much worse, and that's lazy writing. Like, you didn't even try and fail. You just didn't try at all. You can tell he was already writing the spinoff shows at the same time as writing a finale. And it's like, yeah, good job, buddy. Like, butchering the end of your show is really gonna make me want to watch your spinoffs. It's not like I expected some super deep, multi-layered writing from the same show who made a character whose superpower was having an abnormally large penis. But I expected them to give a satisfying conclusion to the character that honestly carried their show. And he just dropped the ball, man. And that's the difference between good writing and whatever this is.